Welcome back to the channel. This week I've been driving this 2025 BMW X2 M35i. The BMW X2 is a compact SUV. Add the M35i and you get an SUV that looks small, but let me tell you, it packs an absolute punch. The styling and stuff actually reminds me of a smaller version of the X6, which was a very nice SUV to drive in the time that I drove it, I think a couple of years ago, or I think 2 years ago now. It was really nice. The X2 is also phenomenal. It surprised me once again. BMW have done it once again where I wasn't expecting a crazy amount of performance. I was willing to take what I was going to get, but I got a ton more. I'm gonna show you the exterior, the interior, and of course POV drive. Let's get into it. So first off, we're starting with the front end. I do have the M Sport package, which is gonna give me a couple of things, and we'll kind of point them out as we go through the vehicle here. So I do have the Shadowline headlights that look really good. I've got the black accents as well, but I love this BMW technology for the headlights here. They look really, really good. We do have parking sensors and vents. There's quite a bit of cooling. It's very hot today, so that's quite loud as a front fan, the radiator and the cooling. It's quite loud, but we also do have the M badge, which looks really good. BMW badge right where you expect it. We've also got the illuminated kidney grille as well, and I've got a front-facing camera. Now, I don't hate the X2 front design. As you can see, the flaps there close for some of the cooling as the vehicle's cooling off there, but I don't mind it. I actually really enjoy the X2's overall front design. It looks, in my opinion, a lot better than the X3, although I haven't spent time in front of the X3, so I can't tell you for sure. The jury is still out. We'll see if we can get our hands on it. But overall for the X2, the longer I live with it, the more I really enjoy this front end. It looks aggressive. It looks like an SUV that can absolutely hit the road and fly, and it can absolutely do that. So I really like it. So next we're going to take a look under the hood for the BMW X2 M35i. We have a 2-liter BMW M twin power turbo inline 4-cylinder engine, giving us 312 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. But in typical BMW fashion, when you hit the accelerator in this thing, it is going to feel like a lot more. It's also all-wheel drive, and we have a dual clutch transmission, which shifts really, really well and quite aggressively in sport mode, I might say. So the X2 M35i that I've got my hands on this week has almost all the packages that you could possibly want for your brand new X2. I've got things like the M Sport Pro package, giving us things like the red brakes, the Shadowline headlights, the M Sport seats, and the black exterior accents. I've also got the Premium Enhanced package, giving things like interior camera, parking assistant, heads-up display, all the things like that, and many, many more. There is a ton, so I won't go over all of them. But the as-tested price for this BMW X2 M35i is $71,800 Canadian. But honestly, for all the things I'm getting and all the performance I have in here, I honestly expected that price tag to be quite a bit higher. All right, so next let's take a look at the side profile. Got 21-inch rims here, which look really good. You can't see it, but there is an M logo on these Sport Performance brakes. They're also red, look really good. There's a little M badge right here, which I like. The black accents, like I said, with the Sport package that we have on here, looks really good. If you kind of pan out, come a little bit back here on the side profile, this is where you're kind of going to get like the style and design language of the X6, or at least that's just what I think. I mean, I've spent time with the X6, and this very much does remind me of it, but I like the design overall. We've got like the simple door handles here where, you know, you kind of one pull it up and it'll go in. Very aerodynamic. No complaints there. They work every time. They unlock the car. The whole car actually unlocks when I approach it, and it locks when I leave it just with the key in proximity. So no need to actually use the keyless entry in terms of like the physical sensors, which is nice. Last but not least, we have the rear, and it's one of my favorite parts of this X2 M35i. So like I said, we do have the Sport package, which is giving us the quad tailpipes. Look really, really good. We have a diffuser. You know, I'm so glad that BMW have put these exhausts here. There's not a crazy amount of sound. It's pretty decent. There is some pumped in audio, and I'll tell you later, and you'll see later, I'll take it all. I'll take the exterior sound the way it is, and I'll take the interior sound the way it is. Sounds really, really good. I love this bottom half here of this rear end. Looks phenomenal. We also do have this little wing here as well, which is part of the package, and we have very iconic tail lights that look pretty good. No complaints there either. Like I said, the badging already. And then we'll take a look at the trunk. To do that, you just push this button in right here. It's going to pop that open. Then you have your little privacy screen right here. You have a ton of space on the interior. You can fold the seats down should you need to, but honestly, I don't know if I would ever need to. And then if I need more space, look how deep this floor storage is. And it actually, the whole thing actually can come out, and you could just store, you know, if you got something a little taller that you'd like to put in there, you can do that. So great design there by BMW, thinking of maximizing the small space or the smaller space that we have. Very good job. So overall, I really enjoy the looks of this X2. It gets a lot of looks on the street, but there's still plenty more to go into. Let's head onto the interior and let's talk about that. All right, so first up, as usual, is the rear for our BMW X2 M35i. So once we have the door open, you can see that it's a good mix of different materials here. I really like this door handle, or this extra door handle here, because this is the actual lever, but you actually have like a grip right there, which is very nice. Harman Kardon sound system. I like this blue stitching right here, and then it's all soft Alcantara feel with the blue stitching, and you have the little kind of M kind of colors right there that look really nice. Also, you've got the headrests that are also Alcantara, which do adjust. You can put this middle one up, but I have it down right now because if it's up, if say you have somebody sitting here, it won't matter. But if it's up and there's nobody sitting here, it really obstructs the rear view. So I always keep it down because I really don't have anybody in the middle seat. But let's hop in here. Let's see how that works. So it is a little tight because when the driver's seat isn't buckled in, the rear seat actually comes basically all the way back. I guess it's just to allow the driver to get in and out. So we'll just hop in like this. But so at this current point, I have absolutely no room, but that's because the seat is almost all the way back. But I do have quite a bit of leg room and quite a bit of foot room as well. So that's really good. And there's also a bit of ambient lighting back there. I've got my own vents back here as well. It's not climate controlled or anything, but it is a good fact that I do feel the cold air coming back here. So it's very nice. It's a small interior, so it's not too bad. 2 USB-C ports as well. A little bit of storage down in here as well. Baby seat, if you're curious, fits very well, but again, you can easily fit somebody else there. The seat backs are really comfortable. I do enjoy that. And then also we have cup holders that will come down. My baby seat is going to be slightly in the way there, but yeah, here we go. So once they're folded down, there we go. You can kind of see how that works. Pretty easy to come up and down, but of course the baby seat is slightly in the way. I've got just enough headroom. You can see there's like a little cutout here. And if you're in the middle seat, you kind of hit this part right here. But usually I'm not back here at all, so it's not a big deal. But you do have a very nice piece of sunroof as well. I like the material here. It's not like, you know, the basic color. They've done something with it, typical of BMW. And I like how you can see a little M logo right there. And if there's nobody in the driver's seat, you could see right through to that wonderful cockpit. And so let's actually hop up in there and check that out, because the back seat is pretty comfortable and overall a decent space to spend time in, but the front is where all the action happens. So let's get up there. All right, so next up is the fun part of the BMW X2 here. We have the front seat. Really nice. Again, we got like the nice Alcantara here, 2 sets of memory seat settings, as well as the additional kind of grab handle right there. Harman Kardon sound system up here. The blue stitching continues here in the front. We also have a button for the trunk opening and closing automatically, which is very nice. Getting onto these seats. Now, these seats are an upgrade, so you're going to have to spend a little bit more money, but I'd recommend doing it because, man, oh man, are they comfortable. Also, when the doors open, it's not dark enough for that to happen yet, but these M logos will and do light up, and oh my goodness, I wish they always stayed lit up because it looks really good. We also have the M stitching right there, the M colors. Also, the blue continues all the way through, and then we have kind of like a leg extension, a manual one, but of course, the driver and passenger seat are both power adjusted, which is always nice. But next, let's just hop in here. Much easier to do in the front seat than the back seat. Again, the back seat is kind of pushed back quite a bit here because you know, once I buckle in, it'll actually push me forward into my seat setting. But really cool. Once you're inside, you're greeted by a really cool looking BMW steering wheel in the classic kind of M stuff. So you have like the M stitching. Look at the attention to detail here. The M stitching right there, as well as the nice band here with the red at the center position. It's really beefed up here at the 10 and 2, I believe this is, and really, really good looking. We also have paddle shifters. They're plastic, but they have like this really, I'll see if I can show it to you. Like you can see it back here, this really cool textile feel to it. So you can really get a good grip, even if you have like gloves on or driving, you know, driving gloves on or something, you can really get those, and I really like the boost paddle there. If you hold that, you're gonna get full power, which is really cool. Physical buttons for the media stuff, physical buttons for the cruise control stuff. We really, really enjoy seeing that. I like it. Left-hand side, it's not a touchscreen here. That's physical buttons for the lighting controls and stuff like that. Obviously, when you press this, it will bring up like the option on the main screen there. So, you know, it's sort of like a dual thing, but at least there is a physical button for the auto high beams and stuff like that. So that's nice. Digital gauge cluster with quite a bit of a bezel, but I believe I know definitely there's sensors here. I don't think there's anything here. It's just a little weird because there's a lot of bezel. Like it's a smaller screen here, but it could have been bigger, but it doesn't really need to be. I guess it kind of fits the overall style and design that they're going for, and it doesn't bother me at all. There are times where I notice the bezel, but not too much. But other than that, it's very customizable. You know, like you're used to kind of seeing. You can customize the heads-up display, the layout. There's really only 2 of them for this one, but also the content will change quite a bit here, so that's good to know. But I usually just keep it on the simple one and then the kind of the sport layout. And you can also change the layout for your heads-up display, and I leave that on the sport one as well. And it'll also kind of change color and theme based on the drive mode that you go into. Next, we're going to move right over here to our digital infotainment display. So it doesn't have like built-in navigation or anything like that. It's going to tell me to use use my phone for it, which is fine. That's what I'm going to do anyways. I don't feel like I need to pay extra for navigation or anything like that, which is cool. Vehicle status, it'll show you that right there. You kind of got quick access touch buttons right here. It's the classic kind of BMW system, a little bit less advanced than something like the 550e that we saw last week, but I actually like it this way. Like it's very simple. There is a lot of different things and individual things. You're still going to need to sit with this and really get a grip on it, but it's quite easy. But again, if you're somebody that likes physical buttons, well, get used to not really having too many. You're going to have these 2 here for the HVAC, but everything else, you're going to have to click that, and then it's all there. Same thing with our heated seats and heated steering wheel. No ventilation, might be because of these seats. I don't really care. The heated seats and the heated steering are the main things, especially if you're going to drive this thing through the winter, which it's all-wheel drive, so most of you probably will. We do have a 360-degree parking camera as well, which is very nice. We have the assisted parking stuff, so you really have a full view. You have 3D car wash stuff. You can kind of flip around in this thing if you want, kind of see all angles. It shows a red vehicle as well. BMW is usually pretty good about that stuff. So yeah, really easy to use. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and then I think you can also download games in here. There's like a connected store thing that you can do. So, you know, you can do a lot of stuff here. It's still that like kind of new age BMW system that I tend to like. You just have to know where you're going, and thankfully I do. We do have a couple of different drive modes as well. So personal, I have sport mode, which will give us individual settings. So you can have the drivetrain in Sport Plus. Comfort, you can do driving dynamics, you can turn your DSC off. Sport Plus will do that, sort of. Then you can have the steering in comfort, or you can reset all the settings. Sport mode is pretty much the one I drive in all the time, but we also do have a personal, which you can mess around with a little bit, and then the efficient one, which is going to more or less just make it so that, you know, the auto start stop is on, and, you know, it's really taking its time with the throttle and stuff like that. But most of the time I leave it in sport mode, and you can see the change there when that happens. Looks really cool in the gauge cluster, and also changes your ambient lighting to red or blue based on the drive mode. You can link it to that, which is really nice. Then a little bit lower, we do have this nice color on the dash. I do like that there's Alcantara and the blue stitching continued across the dashboard. It's very nice. It's good looking. And then we have like this cool kind of ambient lighting setup. I think only half of it's really ambient lit. I haven't driven this thing truly at nighttime. Like, it doesn't really get too dark by the time I'm done filming outside. So, but this is cool, and it'll again change with the drive mode. And then you have like, so this is a wireless charger, right? But this little thing that moves, you're like, what could that be, right? Well, actually, what it does is you place your phone in here, and then you push this forward. It's like a little phone seatbelt. So that way, like, it holds the phone, and it's a nice little like rubber pad, so it's not going to damage your screen or anything when it's bumping around there, and it'll keep the phone in place. Very good little thing. I call it the phone seatbelt. Very cool. And then we have 2 standard cup holders, 2 USB-C ports, a ton of storage under like this floating armrest, which is really cool. And this is where you're going to control stuff. So this is where I've got my, the start stop button. I've got the little gear selector. I've got the my modes. I've got the driving stuff where you can change it, volume control, park button as well. And then like I can press this button right here, which will open this guy. And in here is just enough room for my wallet, and that's about it. Maybe like a couple of coins and quarters, but that's it. You know, that's pretty much it. Maybe a USB-C wire too, you could probably fit in there, but that, you know, don't expect it. You're gonna have to use this one, the underneath storage, which is still fine. You know, here's the BMW key for those of you that might be curious or wondering. It's got the M, you know, kind of pattern on there as well. Very simple key, no big complaints. I like the weight to it. I really do like the way that feels. Doesn't feel cheap at all. Passenger seat is very much the same as the driver's seat. Very nice. I love it. You can also option it, I think, in a red as well, which looks really cool. Then just above here, we do have a little camera for the drive stuff, and you know, the operations for the SOS and the moonroof and stuff like that. So very, very good. Everything in here is very much laid out, but really it shines in its driving, right? I love driving this X2 M35i around. It is my favorite, you know, little BMW SUV so far. It reminds me of a mini M6. Or not a mini M6, a mini X6 M. I think I had the X6 Lite. Oh my goodness, it gets confusing with all these things. But I had the light version of the X6 M. So it was really cool then. This kind of reminds me of that. Has a lot of speed, a lot of torque, and definitely more horsepower than this thing is saying. But overall, interior-wise, very easy to use. I like it. Plenty of space, surprising amount of space given the stance and the presence of this vehicle. So I am enjoying all of that and more. But like I said, it shines where it drives. So let me strap that GoPro to my forehead. Let's take it on the road. All right, so on the road now, BMW X2 M35i. What a good week it has been so far. I just love driving this thing around. BMW does such a good job at making, like, you know, most of their cars really fun and really engaging to drive, no matter, you know, pretty much no matter what horsepower number they give it. I mean, this one has 312 horsepower. But it feels like a lot more. It engages, like, I mean, it's got enough power to, like, put you on a first name basis with the local law enforcement. I mean, that legitimately describes it so well. And I mean, look, I'm red and I kind of stand out. Not necessarily the most loudest thing on the road, but definitely do stand out quite a bit. So I'm gonna put it in sport mode here. Immediately, you're going to hear the pumped-in audio of the thing, which I don't mind at all. We'll continue through to this on this straight here. All right, so BMW says that this X2 M35i has 312 horsepower, but I can assure you it feels like a lot more. So let's hold our boost paddle. We're going to ease into it because it just rained, but let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, right into the sunshine. That is enough to get me in trouble a lot of the time. Wow, that's impressive. So yeah, if you want to get in trouble, just do that all the time. And I mean, it's hard not to, right? Like, and I mean, like, I was even in like the full sport mode there, but obviously when I press the boost paddle, it puts me in it. But like now I'm in it. Now I'm in the full transmission, sport mode, everything. But it's still like it shifts really aggressively. It doesn't feel like 312 horsepower. It feels like a lot more. And like there is a considerable amount of like body roll. Here, I'm trying to be careful because it did just rain, so I don't want to do anything crazy. But yeah, there's a considerable amount of body roll when you do that. It is an SUV. It's kind of to be expected, but like for a street car, for something that's going to take you, you know, from your house to work, to the grocery store, to pick up your kids or whatever, like it's got that edge of sportiness that is just so much fun, and it's so engaging. Like a lot of the noises that you're hearing, sure, they're pumped in, but again, I don't care. I'm here for it. I love the theater. I love the drama of it. I'll take it. It's not a V8, but like, who cares? Even if it sounds like one, I think they've done a good job. I don't think it's overbearing. I don't feel like it's annoying. I definitely would never turn it off if I owned it. It just gives the car a little bit of drama, and I have to like it for that. In terms of ride quality and comfort, it's pretty good. There's a little bit of like torque steering when you hit a big bump. It'll kind of jerk the steering wheel out of your hand a little bit, but it's not that bad. Like obviously, this isn't like, you know, marketed as a SUV that's going to be super comfortable and it's going to delete all the bumps. It's not meant to do that. It is more, I'd say, on the sporty side, the X2 M35i, than it is on the comfortable side. And again, I went into this knowing that, so that's not like a negative point by any means for me. It's just, you know, you kind of have to expect a little bit of a rougher ride in certain times, like huge potholes and stuff like that, the suspension, I mean, you're just gonna feel it. And especially if you're always driving around in sport mode like I am, you're gonna feel a little bit of the bumps. But again, the trade-off for me, at least at my current age of 29 years old, is worth it. I'd rather have an SUV that rips around and maybe I feel an occasional bump or two than me not feeling anything. Because this, I like to feel. There's sort of like I know I have electronically assisted steering and stuff like that, but like there's still sort of like a raw feeling to driving this X2, and I kind of enjoy that. And it's what BMW does really well. They make their driving experience really, really good. They really put a focus on it, and I can tell by driving a couple of them now. Let's do this again here. Let's pull our boost paddle. Let's get to 10 seconds and let's go. Oh my God, that upshift is so good. It redlines around the 6,000 RPM, which is pretty good. Again, for a road car, for something that's just gonna take you from point A to point B, oh man, this is so much fun. So visibility wise is pretty good. The windshield isn't that big, but again, it's not a very big car. It's not hard to maneuver it around in tight spaces, in tight parking lots, grocery stores, stuff like that. I found it very easy. It also gives me the 360-degree camera. So I mean, what am I complaining for? And I like the driving position. I love these seats right here. They're so good. They hold you in so well, and they actually do help with a little bit of comfort as well. When you are ripping around or taking a tight corner, these seats just keep you locked in right into the center, and I really like that. And the feel of this steering wheel is great. I love it. It just feels like it's meant to be held exactly the way I'm holding it right now, and it feels good in my hands. I like the ergonomic too, like I can rest my hands here should I want to, but honestly, I like driving like this. And then I've got paddle shifters that have like that rubber like I showed you before. So it's just little things that just satisfy an enthusiast so much, and just what makes BMW elite. They think of these little details and things that you don't really notice until you drive it, and the things that you can't notice until you actually drive these things. It's just one of those things that never ceases to impress me. So I'm very happy with the job that they've done here. See, in terms of fuel economy, let's see, I think it will tell me since last refuel, 13.2. So not great, but also not terrible. I honestly expected worse because I am ripping this thing around. Like when I tell you I'm just, absolutely almost never in the normal mode, except for maybe my morning commute. I kind of take it relaxed, but even then there's periods there where, you know what, we're going into sport mode and we're having some fun before I get to work. And it's like, it's constant. I'm constantly in this mode. I'm constantly ripping around town, and I can't stop doing it. So 13.1, not too bad. Probably is helped by the fact that this isn't a massive engine. I mean, like, yeah, the pumped-in audio makes it sound that way, and again, no problem. I say that a lot because I feel like that's what people are going to try to complain about. But honestly, I think if you drive it, you're probably not going to complain about it. Like, it's, we're maybe using a lot less fuel. It's not a V8 or a V6 or anything like that. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder. So, yeah, that makes it really, really not too bad on the gas, even if I am pushing it around. So this BMW X2 is also equipped with the assisted driving. So, it'll kind of be pretty elite in traffic, actually. If you're from Montreal like I am, then you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to constant traffic. And so just to have something, the vehicle kind of do things for you, especially if you have a longer commute, is going to be really useful. And I've used it before. I've used this assisted driving technology before. Maybe I haven't used it this week. I haven't really had the opportunity, luckily. But I have gotten stuck in traffic with other BMWs with this technology, and let me tell you, it makes traffic a breeze. It just does everything for you. It takes the worry out of your hands. You can just kind of sit back and enjoy, have a sip of coffee, whatever you need to do. You can do it as long as your eyes are focused on the road. It's obviously not an autopilot, and you have to watch, but still, it kind of takes the stress off a little bit. Oh, that's fun. It never gets old. I wonder, do any of you watching this video right now, are you guys owners of the M35i X2? I mean, if you are, I get it, right? Because like with the price point, $71,000 or $71,800 Canadian, I expected it to be a lot worse. I really expected us to be approaching 80, maybe 90,000. Of course, with tax, you are getting there, but I'm talking the price without tax. I thought tax in, it would be a lot worse on the wallet. For everything you get, I think 71.8 is not too terrible. you know, if I had the cash and I needed, you know, a compact SUV from BMW, and like I wanted one, this one would pretty much be right around there, you know, right around the top of the list. But let me know, because they never tell me about reliability, and I can never see that with the week, because, you know, during the week, it's perfect. There's no reliability issues. I get in, I drive it, I have a great time, and then I tell you how great it is. But I never know, like, the horror stories or anything like that. So if there is, I hope there's not, because I want to see all these X2s, and I want you guys to enjoy these cars just like I do. So hopefully you're buying them or testing them at least, you know, after watching the video. But let me know, like, reliability-wise, how's it been? Maintenance-wise, how's it been? Because obviously that's going to be a thing, and it should be weighed in when you buy any vehicle, even if it's a BMW or Toyota, whatever. You need to know. We just need to know, and that's not something I can speak on, so I need your help for that. But overall, that's going to do it for me and my thoughts on the 2025 BMW X2 M35i. Oh man, what have they done? They've did it again. Impressed me again when I really wasn't expecting to be impressed. That's just what BMW's been doing, and I hope they continue to do it. If you want to see more BMWs on the channel, if you want to see even more crazy BMWs or Mercedes or other things in this, so make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see more BMWs or even more crazy BMWs on the channel, or more Mercedes, whatever you want to see. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, so I can go to the brands and be like, hey, my audience wants to see these things. With that being said, I'll see you next week. See you in the next car. Take care.